guys, Kelly Ryan from Lion Ethic here. Today I want to talk about foam rolling. I think the main questions that people have are when, why, and how. So first of all, I just want to show you some of the implements you can use for foam rolling. You have a foam roller like this one, you have a stick, and you have a ball. Today I'm just going to focus on the foam roller, and I will create another video for you guys focusing on how to use the stick and the ball. But the most important one that can hit like the biggest areas and it's kind of the biggest bang for your buck is going to be the foam roller. You can hit a lot of muscles at once with the foam roller. So when do you foam roll? I foam roll before every practice and competition and on my off days. I find that it makes my body feel better and feels more ready for the competition. So why do I do it? I do it because it allows my muscle to move a little better. You're essentially massaging it and giving the muscle a little bit more pliability and blood flow. It also has like an actual neurological response in your body that will make your body feel like it can move better, and by extension you will move better. So that's the when. I do it before practice, not after or before competitions. And the why is to make the muscle move better so that I can move better and perform better, in whether it be lifting weights, fencing, which is my sport, or running around a track. Some people have argued that you can do it afterwards. Doesn't quite make sense to me, given that the purpose is to facilitate your workout. So this is part of my warm-up. It's not a cool down for me. Others have also argued that before the workout it doesn't make sense because like static stretching, they worry that it will decrease your max jump height. That argument, I believe, is moot because after we do this, we're going to activate you, we're going to increase your heart rate, we're going to activate your nervous system, so that's not really important because you're going to be able to jump just as high in a couple minutes anyways. So, how? Now, basically when you're foam rolling, you want to find a muscle, not a bone or a ligament or tendon, and you want to roll up and down that muscle about 10 times. You're also looking to pinpoint areas that are more sensitive and might need a little bit more attention. The one that I always start with is my back, just because I kind of like to go top to bottom. So the first one that I do is my upper back. I lay on the roller and I give myself a big hug, okay? And then I roll up and down from the top of my shoulders to my mid back. So I'm working on my thoracic spine, my rhomboids, and my traps, my lower and mid traps. After that, I roll onto my side and I get at my lats. This one is often a pretty sensitive one, so I recommend going very gentle with the pressure you use here, and it may actually be better to just pause in specific spots instead of rolling back and forth. For me, the more often I do this, the less it hurts, which indicates that I need to continue doing this fairly often. So here I'm going to roll from armpit to about the end of my ribs to attack my lats. After that, I'm going to do my low back. For the low back, unlike the upper back, I'm actually going to do one side at a time. That's going to get a little bit better angle at my quadratus lumborum. So here I'm rolling up and down from now mid back to my hip. I'm doing just the right side of my body. Then I'll do the same thing on my left. After that, we can go on to glutes. So that's your butt muscles. If you're really sensitive, you could do one at a time. Two both at the same time, but I recommend doing one at a time. You can do it straight-legged, like so, or you can make a figure 4 position with your leg and roll like this. So here you can see that I'm rolling my right side, so my weight is going to be on my right arm. All right. Now, the thighs are one of the most important areas for a lot of athletes. As I mentioned, I'm a competitive fencer, so quads are a super heavily used muscle in our sport, and I will always make sure that I get this one in. The first one that I'll do is the front of the quad, the front of my thigh. So I'm going to get into sort of like a plank position here, and I'm going to roll back and forth, like I said, about 10 times. I'm going in the direction of the muscle, and I'm looking for sensitive spots that may need extra attention. Once I find one, I'm going to pause, breathe, like let my body kind of accept the pressure, and then I'll start bending and extending my leg. So now I'm kind of stretching the muscle with that pressure, which is going to have a little bit deeper stretch. After that, I can do a little bit of flossing. So I can go back and forth, side to side, against the grain of the muscle. And I recommend when you do your thighs, you create some space so that you can put the roller, like you can put your left leg here as you roll your right leg. After I've done the front of my thighs, I'm going to do the side of my quad or IT band. Here I'm going to get into more of a side plank position, and I'm going to roll again up and down 10 times, looking for sensitive spots. And after I've done about 10 rolls, I'll hang out on that sensitive spot and bend and extend my leg. And then I can floss a little bit here too by going side to side. Also key to get your adductors, your inner thigh. So for this one, I'll be in a plank-like position, but my body will be parallel to the roller instead of perpendicular. And my knees can be bent just like so. I recommend for this one, it's actually a little easier if you break it in two. So I go knee to mid-thigh, and after I've done my 10 rolls there, I'll go a little deeper and I'll go mid-thigh to hip. Again, whenever you find a sensitive spot, you can bend and extend or try to floss a little bit. All right, now we're going to the back of the legs again. The hamstrings is another one that you may want to roll, and it's the same concepts as the front of the thigh. So I'm just going to be rolling back and forth 10 times, kind of looking for any sensitive spots. I can also move my foot around here, so I can roll a little bit more inner thigh by pointing my toe towards the inside, or my outer thigh by pointing it to the right. The final thing we're going to do is the calves. So the calves are another really important spot for athletes, particularly runners. This one I'm going to put the roller on the meaty bit of my leg, which is where the muscle is, so not on the tendon, and I'm going to roll back and forth here. Again, I can get some movement going and some stretching by lifting my toe up. I got a crack there while we were doing this. And then I can also do the flossing. It's going to be important as well, just like I did with my hamstring, to turn my foot inside so I can get the inside of my calf, and turn my foot outside so I can get the outside of my calf. In particular, that's a spot I'm generally very sore. Okay, so that's a basic foam rolling routine. Like I said, I start with my upper back, then I go lats, then low back, one side at a time. Then we go glutes in the figure 4 position, all 4 sides of my thighs, and then my calves. After that, my body feels ready for exercise, and I can go into my mobility circuit, my activation, my jumps, etc., and I'm going to be feeling much more mobile and hopefully powerful. Let me know in the comments section if you have any questions or anything like that, and don't forget to subscribe.